Hello, everyone, and welcome to Post Game Live with Cryssy Canuck. I'm doing my best to look, true north, strong and free tonight with my little hat. Tonight was not a good night for the Canucks. Okay, we lost. We lost. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I was so cocky about Connor McHugh yesterday, and guess who showed up tonight? Connor McDavid did. So I was not right about that prediction at all. I awoke in the beast. I apparently got down under his skin, which I can do sometimes to people. Oh, hey, Carlos, what up? Okay, but before I actually get to the Canucks versus the Oilers round 2, I'd like to interrupt this Canucks broadcast to let you guys know, to just say congratulations to our one and only savior, the defensive coordinator of all time, Mr. Robert Saleh. Congratulations. He signed with the New York Jets, which I was totally off. Actually, no. I kind of thought that it was going to be the Jets, but then a part of me was like, go to San Diego, Or no, not San Diego. To the Chargers. I always keep calling them San Diego. You guys are going to come at me for that. But I wanted him to go to the Chargers just because I thought, you know what, that could be a good team for him. There's a lot of different, skilled players there that he can work with. And it could be like, the same kind of weather over there. I don't know. I was just thinking it would be nice for him to be with the Chargers. But that's all good. And he's not going to be with Frank Gore over at the Jets either, because Frank Gore is a free agent. So thank you guys for reminding me that, because it totally slipped my mind. I've been working like crazy today. But yeah, okay, let's get back to what I actually was going to need to work on. I don't know how you guys feel about this whole Robert Saleh thing, but we'll talk about that later, because this is Cryssy Canuck. This is not Robert Saleh time, even though I loved him. You cried. Oh, Nikki, I'm sorry. I actually wanted to cry, but I was like crying happy tears for him almost, on the inside, because I'm like, this guy deserves it. More than anybody, I think he deserves the chance to be the head coach of a team and use that passion and like that fire out there and win a Super Bowl, and it's his team. I don't know. He did an incredible job on the D. You guys know that. Me and the D love the defense, but he had to spread his little wings and fly. We all do. We all do. All of us that want something big in this life, we got to keep taking the next step, right? So good for him. Props to Saleh. Cryssy Canuck, yes. Yeah, look at how cute this is. I love this. This is my boyfriend's hat. Super cute. I tried to go for like super little cold Canadian look, when I'm out in the snow. Okay, let's get back to hockey. So Thatcher Demko got the start tonight. He's from San Diego, actually. So I was excited when I was talking about San Diego, even though the Chargers don't play there anymore. Thanks for the reminder. But I'm a little jealous because San Diego is like crazy warm, and now Thatcher Demko is playing in Canada, which is kind of cold right now. I don't know how Edmonton is, but Vancouver wasn't that bad today. It was kind of rainy. But let's talk about the game tonight. So round 2 against Connor McDavid. So Connor McHugh, I called him yesterday. He is Connor McDavid 100% tonight. 100%. They played the game at Rogers Place. So I live next to Rogers Arena, which is confusing because in BC it's Rogers Arena. In Alberta, they have Rogers Place. And then in Toronto, they have Rogers Center. So there's all these Rogers. Rogers is like totally taking over. We're taking over. So the period started off with Edmonton slapping away at the Vancouver zone, and the Canucks, like you could just tell that they were getting a little dominated by the Oilers. The Oilers showed up tonight and were like, no, we're not going to go down without a fight. We're not going to let you guys sweep us 2-0. Like this is not the LA Rams, right? Like no. So the Oilers just kept hammering away at Demko. Demko didn't look the greatest, I'm not going to lie, but we all know that, like, some games you're going to have it, some games you're not. And, like, tonight just wasn't Demko's night. He's basically vying for the top spot as goalie for the Canucks, and it's between him and Holtby right now, number 49, Holtby. And so Thatcher needs to play better. If he wants the top spot, if he wants to be the goalie, the guy, the go-to guy, and he even said this, then he's got to play like it. You have to make more stops. The defense wasn't really playing up to par. They were not where they were at yesterday at all. They did not shut down Connor McDavid at all. Just saying. Okay, so in the opening 2 minutes, like everything was hectic. It was crazy. It was an indication that, like, okay, Oilers are probably going to dominate tonight, which they did. The first goal coming from none other than Ryan Chicken Nugget Hopkins. I call him that just because his last name kind of reminds me of Chicken Nuggets. Ryan Nugent Hopkins. I know how to say it. He was incredible. Also, Connor McDavid, he showed up. So he added a little cherry on top in the period with a banger at the end. And this came at like 0.7 seconds left in the period. So it's like basically about to go to intermission. We're thinking, okay, 1-0 going to intermission is not that bad. We can recover. No. Connor McDavid's like, nope, I'm here. Look at me. Boom. Goal. Right between Thatcher Demko's legs. Right between the post. Boom, goal. Siren's going off. Like, he got a goal. So he ended the period on a very high note and just came crashing into the second period as well, which I will get to. So they led 2-0 going into the first intermission. Second period comes along. Canucks new acquisition, Nate Schmidt. So the real Schmitty, he is named. This is from a Sportsnet guy. He dubbed him this, which is so great. He scored his first goal with the team, which is incredible. And then Connor McDavid made himself known. And he scored not 1, but 2 more goals. And so he got himself his first hat trick of the season. Of course, it came against the Canucks. I can't catch a break with my teams, guys. I just can't. Tyler Mutt also scored his first of the year. So that came in between two of Connor McDavid's goals, though. Getting into the third, Ryan Chicken Nugget got again, close to halfway through the period. Boom. Both McDavid and Hopkins had clutch nights. 3 goals and an assist for Connor. 2 goals and an assist for Ryan. Incredible. Both goaltenders, they honestly played a really great game. I thought Demko could have stepped it up, but like the pieces around him should have maybe done their job a little better. Like, come on, guys. The defense, I didn't really see it tonight. The D was nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So I think that the Oilers, Koskinen, I think his name is, Koskinen, I can't say it. He stood on his head. He only allowed 2 goals, which is huge props to him, right? But it was definitely a battle of the goalies tonight. So he kind of came out on top, and that's fine. Their D was a little stronger. They defeated the Canucks, so Oilers won 5-2. But that's okay. Canuckle heads, we're okay because we're going up against the Calgary Flames, the Flames, as my professor from CSM used to tell me. So when I was going to broadcasting school, big shout out to Ray Williams. That man is a legend. He always would call the Flames the Flames. I loved it. So they're the Calgary Flames from here on. They fly over to Calgary, and so they're going to be playing 2 games against Calgary before they come back to Vancouver. So I'm very excited for the Canucks to come back to Vancouver because then they're going up against Montreal, which is exciting. Another Canadian team, the Canadian division, the North Division. So I just have to say, I'm sorry to Connor McDavid. I called him Connor McHugh, and it obviously was like triggered something inside of him. And look, he went off tonight. So good for him. Good for him. You know what? Like, I'm always cheeky, but like the best players, of course, I'm going to kind of poop on them a little bit, right? Like, you have to. You have to kind of poke at fan bases, especially all of the Canadian teams, because let me just take a sip of my water. Because the Canadian teams are basically our Seahawks. You know what I mean? Like, I look at them as our biggest rivals throughout, I don't know, like, you want to be the best Canadian team, right? That's just how I feel. And so it just didn't go our way tonight, and that's fine. Just about Edmonton in general. So, like, I didn't mean to get all, like, cocky about McDavid, you know, and calling him Connor McHugh, because I know he's a great player. He's obviously one of the best players in the NHL for a reason, for a while. I've just never really been a fan of Edmonton, and the reason has nothing to do with hockey. It's because when I went to Edmonton for work, I used to have to go there for work, and I was managing a tuxedo company. I know. It's okay. Anyways, I was managing a tuxedo company, and I missed my flight home. I was driving back from the tuxedo place. I stopped off to get gas or something, and when I stopped at the gas station, I just somehow went on the wrong road. I'm driving around for a while, and I think I see the University of Edmonton, and I'm like, I don't think this is where the airport was. And so I got completely lost. I went into like one of the convenience stores, asked somebody, hey, how do I get to the airport? Where is it? How far am I? My flight at this time is in like 38 minutes. So I'm cutting it very close. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm like 2 minutes away from the airport. No, it turns out I'm like an hour away. So my flight's in 38 minutes. I obviously missed my flight. I got to the airport. I'm like crying. I get up to the concierge desk of WestJet, and I'm like, can I get home tonight? Like, what's the protocol? What do we do? Am I going to make the flight? They're like, ma'am, the flight is gone. Like, this was the last flight of the night. Gone. So I got stuck in Edmonton, and I'd been there, I think, for like a week, and I was training all these people, and it just was like the hardest week of my life. It felt like at that age, you know, it was just I'm talking about like me being, young Cryssy in the working world. It's like, what am I doing? Anyways, missed my flight. I cried. Got a hotel for the night. It was fine. I ended up getting the first flight out in the morning. But like Edmonton itself, I've never really liked just because of that experience. And also, I don't know, there's no mountains there. It's not like Vancouver. Like I feel very blessed having Vancouver. But anyways, I'm just sounding a little too posh now because I'm like, oh, Vancouver's better. But no. Edmonton, the best thing about Edmonton is their mall. They have the West Edmonton Mall, which is like the biggest mall I've ever been to. And it's crazy big and amazing, and they have every single store you could possibly think of. So I do like Edmonton. I just can't like them for hockey reasons. So had to say Connor McDavid. But good for him. Cheers to him. He did a good job tonight. You lived in Edmonton? No way. That's crazy. It isn't that bad there. I had to go there a lot for work. It was a lot. I will. Hi. How's it going, Justin? What a wasteland. Okay, we're not putting down other cities in Canada. We love Canada. We love it. Okay. Anyways, what made me think about that? Oh, yeah, that's just why like I obviously was giving some like putting Connor McDavid down. It's not because I actually don't think he's a bad player. I think he's one of the greatest. Just saying. I would love him to play for Vancouver one day. Wouldn't that be great? It would. Yes, it would. Anyways, I left a sour taste in my mouth with the whole ordeal at the airport situation. So obviously I was like, no, can't like Edmonton. I just can't. But the Calgary Flames, I always liked just because Jerome McGinley played for them and he was one of my favorite hockey players ever. But okay, so I've been a Canucks fan like ever since I could remember. My dad came to Canada when he was like 13, 14, and he fell in love with the team right away. He met my mom at school in Vancouver, and they are high school sweethearts, like the cutest thing ever. And he showed us hockey. Like when I was born, everything was about hockey. Like we were a very hockey family. We were a very soccer family because we're Italian as well. So sports in general, I would just sit and watch with my dad. So anything he basically said about the team, I was like, okay, I believe you, Dad. I'm going to follow suit. I'm going to be your little mini me and trust everything, every hot take you have about a team, I'm going to follow, right? So there's certain players that I didn't like because he didn't like them, and there's certain players that I liked because he did like them, and vice versa. So anyways, I got my love of the Canucks from my dad, and it's just been one of the funnest things ever to, text with him. We used to watch all the games together, but now obviously I don't live at home anymore, so I text with him on game nights, and normally we just go off about the game, and it's like one of the best things ever. So I really love that. I love that he showed me this hockey team, and like he's one of the reasons that, I became Cryssy Canuck, because I started journalism in school and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great if I could report on the Canucks one day, my hometown team, and I haven't really ever followed a team that's my home team to the extent that I have, the 49ers I follow with every bit of my heart and soul. But the Canucks, before I was a 49ers fan, they were basically the same thing to me. Hockey was everything. Like I said, I grew up with a very close family, and hockey, we just watched all the games together. It was always on in the background. I understand the plays. I understand, the positions, I think, more than even football, which is crazy because I've played football, but hockey is just something that's like been embedded inside of me. You get your Timmy's double in the morning, and you watch hockey at night, or you go to the ice rink and watch your little nephews play. Like one of my nephews, he plays hockey. Blake, he's going to be in the NHL one day. He's incredible. So hockey's really big here, and it makes me super proud to be able to say, you know what, I first started following the Canucks really heavily, I would say back in like the West Coast Express days. Like if you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm going to touch on that a little later, but that was like my line, the best line of hockey for me in my lifetime was the West Coast Express. So that was when I really got into the team. And like during obviously the riots that happened in 2011, that sucked. That really sucked. And so there were a few players within those different teams that have all touched me and like just made me become more of a fan. And there are some that made me take a little step back as well, which I think is normal for any sport. And like situations like the riot that happened, it made me definitely take a step back from hockey. And that's really when I started getting into football. Like I'd been following like kind of from the side up until about 2011. And then 2011 was like, boom, football, right? So, which was really exciting. And Niners just became everything to me. I'm so thankful for that. But like the Canucks were everything to me as well. And like a big part of my childhood was watching the Canucks. And so this is just something that I've just always wanted to do. And I'm really excited. And I don't know how many people actually want to follow me and listen to my takes on hockey, because I know it's different than football. I get that, but this is just something I've always loved. And my dad, being the guy who showed me the Canucks and showed me sports in general, he was also one of the ones that I used to work as a hockey host on Tuesday nights for the Delta Ice Hawks for Delta TV. And so they were a junior B hockey team that played in the PJHL, so the Pacific Junior Hockey League. And I was their hockey host for basically 2 years. I'd introduce the show, so I'd be like, welcome to Tuesday Night Hockey. I'm your host, Crystal Spore, and tonight the Delta Ice Hawks are playing up against the Richmond Sockeye, like something like that. And that's basically when my love for broadcasting began, and I liked being in front of the camera, and I just started to realize this is something that I really want to do. And I got my first start really with the Delta Ice Hawks and at an ice rink, and my dad was always with me on Tuesday night. So every single Tuesday night he came with me, and it was just the best feeling, like looking across the rink when I'd be doing interviews with the players or with the coach, Darren Naylor, shout out to him, he's awesome. My dad would just be across there and he'd be pumping me up. And so I hold on to that, I do. And I think that it's pretty awesome that I'm now reporting on the Canucks, which is a team that this was always the goal. When I first started in journalism school, this is what I wanted to be doing. And I've just kind of taken it and made it my own and started doing it. And I think, I don't know, this year's just 2021 felt like I woke up, like Connor McHugh. I woke up and I just realized I'm just going to go after every single thing that I've ever wanted, because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't anybody, right? Who cares what people are saying? Who cares if they're trying to bring you down, whatever? Like, if there's a moment in your life that you loved more than anything, like when I was being a hockey reporter with my dad there looking at me and pumping me up from the sidelines, that was one of the best times of my life. And so if I could go after that in the off season of the 49ers and be able to report on hockey and be able to potentially go to the games, which I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, I'm probably going to be able to go to a game this year and be a media member and be in the press box, which is the craziest thing ever. I for once received an email that wasn't a rejection email, and I got approved for Media Pass, which is so cool. So this is a lifelong goal of mine, that I wanted to be Cryssy Canuck. I wanted to be present at the media and be a media member and be reporting on them just the way, in my fun, cute little outfits, like wearing whatever I want, being my own brand, and I'm able to do that. And so anybody that's watching this right now, thank you for supporting this, because I know it's different and whatever, but like this is huge to me. This is like just another layer, another part of the dream, and your guys' support has meant so much to me. So thank you guys. I haven't really been reading anybody's. Hi, what's up, DJ? Nice to see you. Oh, this is inspiring. I know. My dad, he's the angel of my life. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, I literally wouldn't be here. But I don't think I'd be going after a lot of the dreams that I've been going after, just because he's always just held my hand through it all, and like been at the hockey rink, just looking over and holding my hand even if he's not. And so that's been great. And I just think, I don't know, I'm pretty proud that I'm going to be able to walk into that stadium, walk into that arena, and be a reporter from our hometown team, a team that accepted my dad when he came here when he was 13 years old, from a different country that he found love and solace in, and like he passed that down to us, like me, my brother, and my sister, and like gave us all the love in the world, while also showing us how important sports are and how connecting they are. And I just think that's so great. And that's what I love about sports. And that's why I really wanted to be a reporter, because you get these moments with, whether they're the people in your life or the people that you're reporting on, everybody has a story. And I just think it's so great to be able to be one of the people to tell it. So that's why I'm Cryssy Canuck. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing like this here. I'm really excited to be able to go to a game this year and report from the press box. I'm going to show you guys the ins and outs of Rogers Arena, and you guys will just be able to see my reaction of the first time ever of me being able to go report at an NHL game as a reporter, as a media company, which is so cool. And I somehow did this. I don't know, a little girl that had a dream from Poco, of all places, from Port Coquitlam. Like, you can do anything you want in this life. You can go report on any team you want. So I know this got a little more sentimental than I probably wanted it to, but that's okay. I was just thinking, even in a loss, there's so many good things that you can reflect on and remember and hold in your heart and just be happy about. And I think everybody needs to feel that way and should embrace that side of sport, because we can sit and argue who's going to be our next quarterback. We don't have a franchise guy like we used to, because everybody's so used to Joe Montana and Steve Young, and everyone's got their nose in the air. Like, we deserve the best, best, best. Sometimes we don't get the best, and that's fine. It's what you do in the moments where you don't always shine that makes you the person that you are. So remember that. You guys can write down that quote. It kind of just came to me. But anyways, I wanted to tell you guys about my first ever, well, no, not my first ever Canucks game. I've been to quite a few Canucks games. I've been with my brother to one. That was really fun. My dad and I have been to a couple. My friend Vern took me to one, which was incredible. Me and Chris have gone to a couple. Like, there's been moments that we actually went to one in Colorado. No, was it Colorado? I think Arizona. I think we went and saw the Coyotes. Or the Coyotes? I don't know. I can't remember at the time what we saw. Anyways, we've been all over the place. I've seen lots of Canucks games. But there's one that absolutely takes the cake for me. That absolutely takes the cake. So, when was it? I wrote it down. I want to get the date right. Okay, so my nephew, my favorite nephew in this entire world, not favorite ever. I have 4 nephews, okay? They all are amazing. I love them all so much with every bit of my heart. But my first ever nephew, he just holds a special place in my heart because, first off, he made me a Zia, which is auntie in Italian. He made me a Zia for the first time ever. And so to have that feeling was incredible. He's also my godson, so I was a godmother for the first time of my nephew of anything. So that's whammy number 2. And then thirdly, I also was present for his birth, which is really gross to say out loud, I know. But I was there and I was like basically holding my sister's hand through it all, and it was insane. Like, made me feel like, I don't know, that's what life is about. I could cry right now. But just like, I don't know, I got to see him cry and just smile for the first time ever, and it was the craziest moment of my life. I think it tops everything I've ever been through. And so this kid means absolutely the world to me. He is everything. Brody is his name. I haven't seen him in a while. I miss him. I'm going to start crying. Anyways, I miss my nephews just because we haven't been able to hang out as much, and I haven't been the best aunt sometimes too, so I'm not always around as much as I should be, and I feel bad about it, but life kind of sucks right now with how everybody's not allowed to be around their families and be, in different cohorts that aren't their own little homes, and that's fine. So I reflected a little bit today just on my favorite Canucks game because this team has given me so many memories with my family, with my friends, with everything that you could think of, and now with my own career, which is great. But the reason I hold on to this team above all is on October 28th, 2015. So, that's like going to be, just over 5 years ago, right? So Brody was only 3 years old at the time. I bought him tickets to his first ever Canucks game because I thought, you know what, his birthday was a month earlier, and I wanted to do something really special with him, and I wanted him to forever have a moment that he could look back on and say, my Zia Cryssy was the first one to bring me to a Canucks game. I went to my first ever game with her. And I just think that's a cool memory to have with somebody because I just have so many great memories of my dad being around and people being there for me, which has been really great. And I wanted to be that for him. So I took him there October 28th. They were playing the Montreal Canadiens, and the Canucks ended up winning 5-1. Which is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that big of a goal differential physically at the game that I've been at, so in person. But in the first period, the Canucks scored 3 goals, and Brody looks up at me and he's like, Zia, we're good. They're going to win. We can go home. And so we ended up going home after the first period. We loaded up on popcorn and treats and everything, and he stayed over for the night, and we just ate candy in bed and watched movies, and it was really great. So even though we didn't stay for the entire thing, the Canucks won 5-1. He knew they were going to win. And I don't know, we just had the best time ever. I'm going to actually share my screen with you guys for a second. I'm getting super sentimental, I know. How do I do this again? This was the first photo ever. Look at this little bean. We got all the popcorn in the world. So this was our first night, October 28th, 2015. So Brody is my little angel. I miss him. I wish that I could be with him right now at a game. It would have been so great to be with him. Like, coming up, the Canucks come back. And like I said, they're playing Montreal when they come back. I can remove this now. They're playing Montreal when they come back. So it would be so great if somehow I could go to that game and be reporting at it for the first time. And yeah, maybe I can't have Brody with me, but like it would just feel so special. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. I really am hoping, like, pray for me, guys, that there's a spot that opens up within the Canucks media box and I get to go there this year, because I honestly think it would just be a full circle. It would just feel so crazy. So anyways, I got very sentimental tonight. I hope that kind of helped anybody that's watching this. Think about your first game, or think about one of your favorite games that you've been to, whichever sport. But like, I'm going to focus on the Canucks, all my Canucks fans that are watching right now. Think about what was your favorite game that you've ever been to, or if you haven't been to a game, which game do you remember even just watching with your family or a friend that was incredible? Like, DM me. I'm going to put up a little tweet. I'd love to talk to you guys just about your favorite games, because we all have something that we cherish, and we have moments in this life that mean everything to us. And that one with my nephew is just absolutely everything. So hold on to those wins. We don't win them all. The Canucks lost tonight. That's okay. We split the series 1-1. That's okay. We'll get it next time. We'll remember who Connor McDavid is. But anyways, I will call you. Yes. Oh, you're the best. You have it, Nikki? Okay, so one day when I get some money popping, I'm going to honestly take you to a game. I promise. I'm saying this on live stream TV that I will take you to a game, because wouldn't that be so great? We should all be able to go to a game at least once in our life. So, I will, always. Okay. That was your favorite one? Were you there for that? Or did you witness that on TV? That's so cool, man. That is cool. Oh, I love you too, girl. Okay, guys, I got crazy sentimental. What time is it right now? It's almost 10 p.m. here. I've got things gone. You know, tomorrow's going to be a busy day for me too. I have so many things that are happening, and I'm really excited. I have such an incredible story that is about a guy, that I met a few years ago that is just an absolute inspiration. He's only 20 years old. He is like my hero. He's absolutely my hero. His name is Bradley Brach. I cannot wait for you guys to read his story. I wrote his story from his perspective, but like my writing. So it's like his story as told by me. And it's such a different way that I've ever written before. And I'm really, really excited for you guys to read it, because I challenged myself and I think I nailed it. And his story is beyond incredible, beyond inspiring. I cannot wait for you guys to read it. It's also going to be a video version too. So watch out for all that. I'm going to have it up on Twitter. Yeah, aside from that, I guess the Canucks play on Saturday against Calgary Flames. So I will be doing a post game after that. So keep it locked here on Cryssy Canuck. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. Hope you have a wonderful night. I love you guys. Take care.